Hey everybody, this is Doug with Artfully Rogue, and as the title suggests, I let my ego get the best of me. Let me step back just a little bit. So in 2015, I actually rented my shop in North Phoenix in an industrial park. It was the first professional shop that I had. It also coincides with the time that I started my YouTube channel. Fast forward to, let's say, a couple of months ago, and it was time to renew my lease at the shop. Now keep in mind, I have actually been looking for another piece of property so that I can actually have my own space and kind of do my own thing without paying somebody else's rent. So I got an email from the landlord, and she decided that she wanted to raise my rent $520. That kind of just got me the wrong way. Now in the past, she's upped the rent $125, $150, but this year was $520, and I know for a fact that with regards to what she is spending, nothing's really changed. So why is she upping the rent? This is where my ego came in. I was not going to pay that. I was not going to be held over a barrel, and I was going to go find something different. Well, it just so happened that I had a friend who had a piece of property north of North Phoenix in an area called Cave Creek, about 2.5 acres. It had a little bit of a garage on it, an old broken down mobile home, and I decided I was going to build a temporary structure to buy me a little bit more time before I could find my own property. Although we are here and we are still working, it has not been without its own issues. Let me walk you around the property and kind of show you what we have going on right now, and stay tuned to the end of the video because I have some really good news to share with you. All right. So I purchased a shipping container so that we can actually have a place to store our steel, and although it's going to be outside, at least it keeps it somewhat organized. Now, this is the structure that we built. It's 16 feet tall in the front and 15 feet tall in the back. And believe it or not, yes, this is just temporary because we will take it back down and we'll move it to a new piece of property and use it more for a RV type shade cover. But as you go into here, there is no electric. We are running extension cords for everything. We do have our work board so that we can see what work we do have going on. And we do have kind of the same setup in my other shop. We have added a new table, but everything that we had in the old shop we have here, except for the fact that we're now outside. And we are still producing water basins for all of the water features that we have to get done. So while we are making it work out here, we are also having some problems. And we started having problems the very day that we moved in here. The neighbor. As I started moving things in, the neighbor, who actually has horses and runs his tractor up and down, was always making comments to my friend saying, "Why are these people bringing all this metal and all this stuff onto this property? The mobile home that you have here should be torn down." My friend said he's just trying to help me until I find my own space. Well, I made a point of going to talk to the neighbor, being very polite, letting him know what was going on. He informed me that this is not a commercial space, you cannot have an industrial workshop here, and I informed him that I just make water features and sculptures, so it's not like we're going to be doing a lot of crazy metal work, as he called it. So that was fine. We were working through that. And then the nice little hit came where I said, "Oh, by the way, I'm going to be moving my bus over here." His eyes rolled so far back in his head that I'm pretty sure he saw his own brain. And I let him know that it's only temporary. By the end of June, we're going to be out of here. So if you don't mind just working with me on a short-term basis, I greatly appreciate it. The conversation ended, and we went about setting up our shop. On the very last day of us bringing things from our old shop to this new space, and we're unloading the truck, we actually happened to see the wife. Now she's driving the tractor, she's a ranch lady, and in an effort to be friendly, we waved and smiled. She responded by flipping us off. I have to say, I wanted to react, but as I told my son, my brother-in-law, and my son's girlfriend, guys, just let it go. We're only going to be here a short time, just let it go. Well, come to find out, the neighbor decided to report us to the county. A couple of weeks later, we had a truck come to the end of the driveway while myself and the owner were standing here, and the truck sat there for about 10 minutes. Nobody ever got out, but then they turned around and left. Now on the 14th of April, the owner got a letter saying that we need to get a permit for this, and no one can live in the bus. Well, I've got a call to make on this coming Monday to see if we can get an extension before I take this thing down. And as far as living in the bus, it's a project vehicle, and all I'm doing is working on the bus. But these are the problems that we're having right now, just trying to get through these next couple of months. All that being said and done, hindsight is 2020. This is where I say my ego got the best of me. I let the fact that the landlord wanted to charge me more money affect my decision, and because of my pride, I wasn't going to let that happen. Ideally, what I should have done is sign the contract. Stay there one more year. Don't worry about spending all this extra time and effort and money and frustration from the next door neighbor, and just wait. Be patient. The right time will come along for you to do what you need to do. Just don't let your ego get in the way. Now there is a bit of a silver lining. It pushed me. It got me out of the shop, and it forced me to start looking harder and pushing harder to find a new location. Remember at the very beginning of the video, I said I had something to share with you? Well, I actually found a piece of property. It's 9 acres. It's zoned rural, so we can do what we want, and it has power, and it has septic. And here in the desert, we're gonna have to haul water until I can have a well drilled, but it's going to be a place that I can set up however I want to. There are no neighbors. I don't have to worry about someone whining about me doing metal work. So we are gonna be moving this operation out of Phoenix and going down south to Tucson, and we're gonna strike up a business there. Now, there are a few things that I had to make sure that I had. I need a metal supplier, I need hardware stores, I need powder coating companies, and I need an international airport because I like to fly and travel and do things. Tucson fit that bill. And so stay tuned in the next several months because we're gonna start that move and we're gonna start the build. And so I'd like to bring you along on that journey. So until that time, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.